Now, these are some of the things that were talked about in terms of the agenda for this conference. Things like how do you create sound, how do you control sound, the production, the reproduction, the storage. Storage has become a huge factor. I just showed you my little USB stick, which is basically so valuable because it stores a huge amount of acoustic data. Then the sharing of it, whether it's via radio or other technologies, the reinforcement technology, the loudspeakers, the amplifiers, how are you going to play it out to a large audience? And how are you going to disseminate it? Is it going to be something that you play over the internet, over your car radio, or at a live concert? So there's a lot going on once sound reaches your ears. And all of that is going to make a difference in the technologies we use. So I've put on the right side of that ear this spiral. And what this is the same thing as a snail-shaped cochlea, which is the organ of hearing in the inner ear. And the reason I put it up there is because this has a relevance to all music. Why music is the way it is has a direct correlation with the fact that we listen in a particular manner to certain frequency ratios. And so that ratio of the octave allows us to do some amazing things because it allows us to transpose music. Why is it such an efficient, useful, and popular controller of sound? This design. The reason this is so popular is again to do with that basilar membrane, with the ear, with frequency ratios, because we are sensitive to ratios. And if you're going to take frequencies to make music, music is made of pitches, of frequencies. So you make some choices, and those choices are dictated by things like those frequency ratios. So the octave is going to be important. And if you think about the octave, it is a logarithmic scale. If we start with a low note of say 100 hertz, what is the octave of that? Double. So it's 200. And if we go to the next octave, it's 400. So you notice already the distance in between has doubled. From 100 to 200 is only 100 hertz. But 200 to 400 is 200 hertz. And then 400 to the next octave, which is 800, is another 400. And to the next octave, 1600. So each distance is also doubling. Not just the frequencies, but the distances in between are also doubling. So very quickly, you can cover that entire space of human hearing by using these ratios, by using a logarithmic scale. Now, we can be cynical about it, or we can also admire the fact that suddenly it's like home computing. You know, you have word processors on your laptop. Now, whether you're a great author or not, you've been given the tools. And similarly, music tools became available to everyone. So synthesis till this point was about creating novel sounds. But when we come to sampling, it's basically like taking very high quality recordings of real instruments, acoustic instruments, and then putting them into a device which you can then control and replay. So again, the keyboard is very important here because it's your controller, but your volume of sounds, your whole stack of sounds has been sourced from real high quality instruments. So, you know, I often wonder, does music influence technology or does technology influence music? It's a dance. It's a circular dance because the music leads to the invention of a technology. A technology is also a technique, it's also a tool. And then those tools and techniques get used to create music within those confines. And then that generates another discovery. And so it's like this spiraling loop. It's this kind of circular relationship. But really, I tend to think of it as a spiral because it's not only circular, but it evolves. So with every circle, you also move up. So music and technology, to me, it's like, it's this wonderful spiral dance that just keeps happening. And there's no reason to be leery and cautious because in the early days, a lot of people, purists, were like afraid of technology or apprehensive. It's something I feel that one can just embrace and accept and use creatively as an extension of whatever else feels. So music, art, science, technology, interactivity, and that makes a very nice acronym.